Hey guys, it's been a while since I've made a video, and I just thought today, with the new expansion Fortuna having come out last week for Warframe, I'd finally decided to make one, and that is going to be on the frames that I think are the best for Fortuna. And so before we actually get started, there are a few things I want to mention, and that is, one, this is all about bounties. If you're just going through Fortuna for mining and fishing and stuff, pretty much any frame works, but of course for fishing, sometimes I would actually recommend Ivara over anyone else because of the dash wire and being able to go over certain water areas. But, I mean, honestly, any character is going to work for that. And when it comes to what frames are actually on this list, they're mainly going to be based on how efficiently they can get through high tier bounties. Anyone can make it through the low tier bounties, but not every frame can actually make it through these high tier bounties easily. Some of them are going to require a lot of forma or really good setups, but if you do have the right setup, again, any frame can really work for any of the tier bounties because, well, they're not going to like the hundreds, they're just going into like level 50 and 60, so yeah, it's not really that important to actually choose certain frames over others. It's more just choose who you're really comfortable with and you're going to make it through any bounty easily. And then finally, I want to say that any frame on this list isn't here for mobility. For mobility on any of the maps like the Plains of Eidolon or Fortuna, Itzel is what you're going to want, the Arcwing, because it's just so fast because of its teleporting ability. So yeah, of course, if you're just looking for mobility, run Itzel. With that out of the way, let's actually start with our first frame. The first frame I want to talk about is actually going to be Loki. And Loki is on here not because he has really good CC, but I mean, he does. But the reason that I love Loki so much is because of how easy he is to play. And yes, there's a Warframe on here just because it's so easy to play. And the reason Loki is so easy is because you have to hit 2 and focus on the objective. You don't have to worry about your health. You don't have to worry about your energy if you're running the right build. All you have to do is focus on killing enemies and you're good. Now, the reason this is so useful is because if you're running one of the excavators or something like that, you can just focus on making sure they're alive and making sure that you're constantly getting enough energy to them. Or say you're running the case capture mission, you can easily protect the cases because you're not going to get shot at. All that's going to happen is the enemies will run on the objective and then you can just shoot them as they run into you. But that is also where his main issue comes into play. He doesn't have the best CC abilities for killing multiple enemies, he can just disarm them. And the reason that's an issue is because if you're in one of the caves on a high tier bounty, as you can see in the clip here, there are a lot of enemies that just rush you, and you can't deal with them all at once, and there are also enemies that will get onto the other objectives, and you'll oftentimes lose 1 or 2 of the cases, but it's still not enough to make you fail, so you should still be able to do everything just fine. It's just that you probably won't get the bonus for it. But other than that, I say Loki is probably one of the best ones to run for any of these high tier missions just because he's so simple and easy to run. So if you're not looking to be really try hard, get all of the bonuses and stuff, I highly recommend Loki. Super easy and also very fun to play. Our second frame on this list is going to be Enorus. Now, you could flip Enorus and Nidus here depending on what you are preferring or who you prefer more, because I don't want to put like every operator or Warframe up here just because they're so tanky. I want them all up here for their own reasons. So of course, if I was doing a list like that, of course it'd be like Rhino Prime, Chroma, Enorus, Nidus. But I want all of these frames to be very different in playstyle, and so that's why Enorus is going to be up second. Now the reason I love Enorus is because with his 4, you become so tanky, and you just won't die no matter where you are. Now, I do actually die in the video, and that's because I didn't have my right weapons equipped, so I just got decimated by a jackal and the giant orb boy. But still, Enorus, I just love this kid. Yeah, I'm gonna call him a kid because why not? And that's because whenever you take damage, of course, you can just use your one ability to stun every enemy around you if you're using the right build, and then just melee them, do your little finisher, get like 20% of your health back for every time that you do that. You can also hit 2 and then you can devour an enemy and you're invincible whenever you do that, and you also get a bunch of health back, if not all of your health. And it's just so useful that you don't really need to worry about anything. You're just so powerful whenever you're running Enorus. But there is one major issue with Enorus, and that is whenever you get on a K-Drive or your Arcwing, you lose your 4. It goes all the way back to 0 and you just lose it. But it does at least give you all of what you used back in health. So if you use 50% of your health or whatever the actual conversion is, it will give you back all of the health that you used to actually get the armor. So I mean, that's nice at least. But still, Enorus, just absolute beast of a tank. And again, you can switch him out for pretty much any tank here. It's just that I personally prefer Enorus over any of the other ones because, I don't know, there's just something about him that I love. For our final frame, we are going to actually have Mesa. Now, I don't know if anyone didn't see this coming for like the best frame for Fortuna, but Mesa is absolutely amazing. For me, I highly recommend running a medium efficiency, high duration build because of Shatter Shield. Just makes you an absolute tank. And I know, I already said the thing about tanks, but that's not the reason that she's up here, just because she's tanky. The main reason I have her on here is because of her Peacemakers. These are just insane on Fortuna. Whenever there are a bunch of enemies around you, just hit 4, hold left click, or whatever console you're playing on, just hold that button whenever it finally releases on console, and you just mow down every enemy in front of you. And of course, if you're running into any of the big boys, like, you know, the big orb boys, same thing, just hold it on them and they will die in literally like less than a second. It's so quick and so useful. And again, it's just such an efficient frame. Like, there's not really much else to say. Her second ability is so useful too because it just increases the damage of your weapons. And all in all, Mesa is just probably my favorite frame in general. Now, I don't really recommend Mesa's wallets. It's not a very good augment when it comes to this place because, well, I mean, it's just not a good augment in general. It's more of a just you run it because it's fun, why not? But Mesa's wallets just really doesn't help on Fortuna because all you have to do is just do a bullet jump, hit 4, shoot all the enemies while you're flying, hit 4 to turn it off, and then just move around again. And so, yeah, Mesa is just one of the most fun frames to play, in my opinion, in all of Warframe. And if I ever do another list talking about the frames that I think are the best, which I might do an updated guide for, then she's probably going to be my #1 pick, honestly. But other than that, that's pretty much it for this list. And there is one more thing I want to mention, which is that whenever it comes to mining or just doing any of the other stuff that isn't a bounty on Fortuna or even the plans, I highly recommend just running Xcal with a high range, high efficiency build because just spamming his 1 and flying across the map is one of the most fun things to do in the game. And as you can see from these clips right here, it's just as efficient as running Itzel. It's super fun and super enjoyable. And yeah, that's going to be pretty much it for this video. I hope you guys did enjoy the video, and be sure in the comments to tell me what your favorite frames are because everyone's going to be having different opinions. And of course, these are just the frames that I enjoy the most on Fortuna. Be sure to tell me yours, and as always, I hope to see you guys in the next video. And if you did enjoy, please drop a like and a comment. It does help out the channel, and hit that subscribe button. Other than that, I hope you guys have a fantastic day, and as always, I hope to see you guys in the next video. Peace out.